Hi VC, second video from me today. This one's all about CDs. Whenever I go to a different area, I always call into the local charity shop and I always have a look through their sort of CD racks because people still are basically just chucking out their CD collections. People see no value in CDs at all. I'm one of these people that do think one day they will make a comeback, but I'm on a bit of a quest to possess everything. I just want to possess everything. It's not enough for me to have digital media. I need it physically. So if I can't have it on vinyl, I want it on CD. So I've got 3 stacks to go through, 3 different charity shops, 3 different deals. They're all doing great deals on CDs, practically giving them away. And some really great stuff to go through. So the first charity shop I went to in Leatherhead in Surrey was 3 CDs for £1. So I picked up a good stack of those. So I'll just run through them. So you got Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell, really nice copy of that. Sort of an early version, an early CD version of that, as you can see. Something from Mojo Magazine, Ireland Folk. I do get Mojo Magazine, I like Mojo Magazine, but I don't remember this particular CD that came with the magazine. But just some nice folk music from the Island label. The Essential Bruce Springsteen, so 2 CDs, double CD, kind of nice package. Again, pristine condition. Hootie and the Blowfish, 1996 Grammy winner, apparently. I don't know much about this, but I have heard that this is a pretty decent album, so I will be checking it out, but at this moment of time I've got no opinion. But when it's 33p, you'll take a punt, you know, that's the beauty of it. NMM, the Marshall Mathers LP, which isn't an LP, it's a CD. Nice copy of this, nice clean copy. No scratches on the, none of these CDs have got scratches on. Another Eminem album, Relapse, one of his later ones. Best of Aztec Camera, just a great one to have in the car, really, just giving an overview of their career. Nice to have. Double CD album rather, the Eagles Live. Again, nice clean condition. Don't really get double dual case albums anymore, I don't think. So this is like obviously a early 90s copy. Coldplay Parachutes, you know, not sure where I sit on the fence with Coldplay. I've got a couple of their albums on vinyl, you know. Yeah, I kind of like them. I'm not sure about their last 3 or 4 albums though. Moby, I like to score, so he's kind of a soundtrack album from the sort of mid-90s. We Are Scientists, sort of early 2000s indie landfill, maybe that's not being fair, but I can't remember We Are Scientists at all actually. I don't even know if they're still together, but I'll be checking that out. The Charlatans, I've always liked Charlatans. I don't have this on vinyl or CD. Don't think I can pronounce this. Simpatico. Probably not one of their best regarded albums, sort of the mid 2000s period. Dodgy. It's basically called the Dodgy album, so I'm sure it's not dodgy. I do like Dodgy. I haven't got this album, never heard this one. I heard the one after it, which has got In a Room on it, and If You're Thinking of Me, which is a great album. This is Celeste, Not Your Muse. This is from 2019. I was going to pick this up on vinyl actually, but I don't know why I didn't. I've got it on CD now. Nice copy of that. White Stripes. Get behind me, Satan, which is you know, great advice. Stereo MCs, Connected, and Pulp, Different Class, and it's the CD version that's got all the kind of 10 interchangeable kind of album covers that you can sort of take out and slot in. So it's quite fairly collectible sort of CD version of the album. So that was one charity shop. One day, another day, I went into a charity shop and they were doing a deal on 10 CDs for a £5, and I picked out what I thought were the 10 best for me anyway. So again, another double dual CD case Billy Joel album, Greatest Hits, kind of very sort of early 90s CD design, as you can see. But again, lovely condition. Originally for sale for £4 somewhere, some boot sale or record fair or somewhere. Soundtrack from the film Shine. Always a sucker for Wham. This basically gives you everything you need from Wham's career. The final, including their best song, in my opinion, Where Did Your Heart Go? Double album, Kylie. Double CD album, rather. Career over retrospective. And why not? Can't beat Kylie. The Raconteurs. God. Consolers of the Lonely. Never played this one before, don't know anything about, not too familiar with the Raconteurs, but I certainly will become familiar with them. Another double CD. Stevie Wonder, sort of another retrospective. Black Grape, love them back in the day. Not sure about them towards the end of their career. Their second album wasn't so great, and England's Irie, you know, I think that was the 98 World Cup song, or maybe it was the 96 Euros song, who knows. Not an amazing song. It was with Joe Strummer and Keith Allen, but just bought this out, pure nostalgia basically for that era. You know, the mid-90s is my favourite time on earth basically. Super Furry Animals EP, Herman Loves Pauline and Nick Loves This Song. Great little EP. Another Stevie Wonder CD, basically Stevie Wonder's number ones. Again, great for the car. And U2, All That You Can't Leave Behind. Not an album I would pay anywhere near full price for or buy it on vinyl, but for 50p in a charity shop, yeah, I'll give it a go. Final stack. These were an absolute bargain. These were basically, they were doing a deal on 50p each or 10 for £1, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, but I was snapping up 20 on that basis. They had loads and loads and loads of racks of CDs, so they clearly just wanted to just clear them out because, again, people just perceive them as landfill CDs at the moment. So let me just quickly run through these. Gorillaz, Demon Days. Fantastic Gorillaz album. This is an uncut magazine CD. So it's Drifter's Escape. So it's basically all the songs that inspired Bob Dylan to do John Wesley Harvin and Nashville Skyline. There's these more sort of country tinged albums. So it's kind of nice to have. This one, not so keen on this one. This is Scissor Sisters. I don't know if it's their second or third album. I really liked their first album and then just kind of lost interest after that. But I'll give this a listen. For 10p, I'll certainly give it a listen. Madonna, Hard Candy. Probably wouldn't be... I do love Madonna, but this period of Madonna, kind of no thanks. But for 10p, I'll give it a go. You know, maybe listen without prejudice, as the phrase goes. Soul to Soul, Club Classics Volume 1. I've got this on vinyl, but again, nice to have this in the car. Just nice to have it generally. Yellow Submarine resurfaces. So this is basically another Mojo magazine sort of mounted CD giveaway, and it's basically just different cover versions from different bands of tracks from the album Yellow Submarine, obviously. Quite interested in this one. I haven't played it yet, but it's a blues singer or soul singer, Solomon Burke, called Don't Give Up On Me. Quite a highly regarded, and he's just, you know, basically features him sort of recording tracks by Elvis Costello, Bob Dylan, Nick Lowe, Van Morrison, Tom Waits, Brian Wilson, sort of unreleased versions of their songs as well. So I'm kind of quite curious about this, quite hopeful about it, especially for 10p. Mick Jagger, the very best of Mick Jagger, which, you know, somehow this stretches to 17 songs, but for 10p, I'll give it a go. Again, you know, I'm sure a lot of these songs are great. Actually, just scanning through, Let's Work is not a great song. Dancing in the Street with David Bowie is abhorrent. But you never know. You never know. There might be some gems on here. Obviously, I love the Stones, but not so much Mick Jagger on his own. This was sealed for 10p. Beach Bar, MC Master Cuts. Might be awful. Might be kind of like nice lounge music, sort of background listening music, sort of chilled house music, which will be fine as background, triple CD. I'll give it a go anyway. This one's a great one. Another double CD. So a cellar full of Motown. So 40 Motown tracks from mainly from the 60s. Just nicely presented. Just a nice kind of nice package basically. And they're not your obvious Motown numbers. You know, like the first one is Baby A Go Go by Barbara McNair. You know, so it's not your standard kind of cliched Motown hit list. It just delves a bit deeper. So I'm really pleased to get that. Floating Points, Elania. I think that's how you pronounce it. Elania, which is just an amazing kind of jazz ambient album. Sort of got a cardboard CD sleeve. Didn't have this previously. I've only had it digitally, and it's just a fantastic album. Really highly recommended. Really love Floating Points, but it's especially nice to find this for 10 pennies. The White Stripes, Elephant. Don't need to say too much about this. You know, kicks off with Seven Nation Army. Lenny Kravitz, Greatest Hits, Take It or Leave It. I took it for 10p. Still sealed as well, which is probably a kind of a bad reflection of Lenny Kravitz. But it's got great songs on here, really. I mean, Mr. Cab Driver, you can't deny that's a, you know, a brilliant song. Let Love Rule, It Ain't Over Till It's Over. You know, publicly I may not say I love that song, but privately or on YouTube I will say I like it. Patience by George Michael, sealed version of this. I've got this on CD already, but it's just nice to have a backup copy because my one's getting a bit ropey. For some reason his family estate haven't got round to releasing it on vinyl yet. It's never been out on vinyl, it's only ever been out on CD, so kind of keeping that as a backup. I do love this album. I think I really highly rate this George Michael album. Unfortunately, his last actual studio album, 2004, sadly never made another studio album. That was my backup George Michael album. Supergrass's 10 compilation album. Always liked Supergrass. The Good, the Bad and the Queen. So kind of early 2000s, sort of Damon Albarn, the sort of bassist out of the Clash, just a sort of ragtag kind of collection of band members. Yeah, really good sort of really good album. This, not a very articulate review of it, I know, but I'm getting to the end of it now, so I'm getting a bit tired. Paul Weller, Modern Classics. Enough said. I'm not sure that Peacock Suit is a classic though. Some might disagree. R.E.M. Up, one of their later albums, possibly their last good album before they split up. It's the one, this is the album that was recorded after, was it the keyboardist left? Well, one of them left and they recorded this. Santana, early 2000s Santana album. Take that with a pinch of salt, especially as it's got, you know, Steven Tyler on it, late Steven Tyler. Yeah, still sealed. Maybe there's a reason that it's still sealed after all these years, but I'll give it a go. You never know, could be great. I've got loads of Santana, 70s Santana on vinyl. Absolutely love Santana, but I am aware that later Santana doesn't hold up quite so well. And the final one, Supergrass, Life on Other Planets, one of their sort of later albums. So all of that cost me £3, £8, £10 for all those CDs. And I just think, you know, for £10, and I've basically got, you know, 50 CDs for a tenner, roughly 50 CDs. It's just astonishing that they're considered to be sort of landfill at the moment. Yeah, one day they'll become valuable again. But it's great just to have them physically, just to physically own this music that I didn't. Most of it I don't previously have on vinyl. Anyway, that's it. That's my kind of my excursion into my charity shop hunting. Cheers. Bye.